Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm working on a small child's chair for the Karl Pope Woodcrafts Build a Chair Challenge, which is running during the month of May. And I've decided to make it as a gift, so my deadline's a bit earlier than the rest. So let's get cracking. The style I'm going for with this build is a mid-century modern design, and I want to use my new tapering jig to cut all different types of angles into the legs. After cutting everything to length on the droppy, I also cut the two front legs at a 5-degree angle to help with that mid-century modern look. It meant that I didn't have a flat face or a perpendicular face to join a rail to, so the first taper was to square up a small face where the rail would meet the leg. I then could mark out the rest of the leg design and joinery from there. I'm using a piece of 90 by 32 Tasmanian Oak I had, and it's good to have something wider to work with when you're doing a chair so you can get a good comfy reclining angle on the chair back. It also means there's going to be a bit of wastage to get my mid-century modern look that I'm after. While you're waiting for that, head over to my Instagram to follow any daily updates and stuff I do. I'm using the festool Domino Joinery for all the joints, as time's a huge factor. They are still a good alternative to traditional mortise and tenon joints. The plan is to cut all the joinery for the two side profiles of the chair and then cut all the tapers on the table saw. I can then mark and cut the dominoes to join these two profiles together to get the final width of the chair. There is a whopping 6 different taper profiles to cut on each side of the chair. The short legs had 2 different tapers, while the back legs have 4 different tapers. The design I chose was mainly done by eye, no angles were really measured, and because of the way the taper jig works, you don't need to know the angles. You just line up the taper line with the jig, set the fence, and it should line up with the blade. Easy and repeatable. All up, it probably took me less than an hour to cut all the tapers because of how easy this jig is to use and set up. Because the back leg tapers into itself, I couldn't use the saw to cut all the way through, so I used the bandsaw to cut the basic profile of the back of the leg. I wanted a machined straight edge and not just a standard line of the belt sander, so I got some straight edges and some double-sided tape to make a straight like template of the leg design, matching up my pencil lines. So then I could use a table router and a templating bit to machine cut all the straight lines to get that perfect fit for my rails. I was worried about how strong the double-sided tape would be, but it was very strong and I could barely get that off. Now I've got the domino upright here because I've got no flat face to reference the angle to guide off. And if you know your dimensions of your piece and the domino, it's pretty easy. This wasn't a problem for the short legs because I could reference the top of it. At this point, I could see my chair coming together and that my dimensions and my design was going to work. I was able to do the same process to attach the back supports to the back of the leg, and it was just an easy process again. With all the pieces cut for the chair, I decided to round over every edge to give it a sleeker, softer look to match the mid-century modern design I was going for. I matched the curve on the top of the legs with a disc sander, and then I was able to also round it over with the router. The last part before assembling was cutting the arch in the top back support to again give it that mid-century modern look. Now usually these big final glue-ups are scary, but with the Domino Joinery and all the proper marking out, you can be pretty confident that everything will go together easily. Of the 3 domino settings you can choose from, tight, medium and really loose, I chose tight. And you can see how tight it really is. Trying to get those out after I've done a dry assembly, it's not easy. I had to glue up 2 of these side profiles, and then I could glue those 2 profiles together with some more rails and the back supports. Just hit that subscribe button, will ya? Please. It's important for this last glue up that everything is nice and square and flat. Otherwise, instead of a normal chair, you're going to get a rocking chair. And you don't want to be dealing with trying to level out a random leg. The seat was a simple matching Tassie oak board, which I cut up. I orientated the boards to give an alternating grain direction so there wouldn't be any cupping or warping over time, and then used biscuits to cut the joineries to join them together for alignment. A few quick cuts and a round over, and it was ready to screw it and glue it down. I applied a few coats of this spray varnish and it was done. I am really happy with how this chair came out, and I'm really excited to give this gift to the new owner of it. I'm sure he's going to love it. I'm super happy with the tapering jig as well, and how easy it was to work with and adjust and use. The mid-century modern look is exactly what I was after, and the spray lacquer finish looks awesome. Again, thank you to Karl Pope for running this YouTube challenge, and check out the hashtag below for other entries. I highly recommend whenever you see one of these challenges that you have a crack at it and test yourself. It's a great way to meet people and expand yourself in the community. I'll leave some links in the description for the hashtag and other videos in this challenge, and to Karl Pope's page and to my own Instagram and Facebook as well. If you want, please subscribe and follow along on the journey that I'm on. And I'll see you next time.